Hello, my name is Tolu Sarah Johnson, and this is me again. And this time around, I'm going to talk on a title: God can be accessed if you care to know Him. We do have a daily conversation with God on a different channel on my co-author Matthew Robopain. And today I was speaking to the Father, and I asked him that why do so many people care about knowing their earthly father? And no one cares to know their Heavenly Father. They don't even know there's a possibility that they will be able to see Him or access Him. And he says something: a lot of the men that represent me do not make me accessible. So God is not accessible. The way God has been presented today in our various religious organizations that will belong to you, whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Buddhist, it doesn't matter. There is this assumption that God cannot be accessed. And a lot of people assume that only specific set of people can access him in most situations. For instance, for me coming from a Christian background, we assume that to access God, you need to go through your pastor, your prophet, your apostle, but that is wrong because you need to understand that God is not hidden. He is not distant. It's not difficult to reach. It's just the way we've been brought up in religion has made it seem as if God is locked behind rituals that is only reserved for the elite, or God is wrapped in mystery so thick you must qualify to approach it. Why have we been given that assumption? This past 2 years, I've been speaking to God almost every day with my co-author Matthew Robopin, where we have a daily conversations with him. And I come with my questions, and God, who I now call Papa, answers my questions. And those videos are accessible on Matthew Robopin's page. And what those video tells us is anyone could access him. I am not an apostle. I am not a prophet. I don't belong to any ministry. I'm just an eager child that is longing to know God, that is longing to know Papa. And God doesn't care whether you've got a perfect art, whether you got a disciplined art, whether you got an impressive art. He just cares about an honest one, the one that comes to him with the right motive, with the motive of developing a close, intimate relationship with him. Because when you look at the ones that claim to hear God, a lot of them, the prophet, apostles, they turn God to money-making machine because, of course, God gives them secrets that are hidden in his heart that sometimes he doesn't even want them to share with the world. But they start sharing it with the world so that they can garnish the respect of people. But what I want you to know is God is accessible to all. And even though we still chase approval of earthly fathers, mentors, leaders, and heroes, and yet the one who formed our soul wait quietly, gently, patiently, hoping that we will care enough to turn and say, Papa, who are you really? He loves those type of conversations. And those kind of conversations just wakes him up because he's got so much in him to share with his children. And how can you access him? You need to see, you need to change your mindset. That's the first thing you need to start from. Change your mindset. Believe that it's possible to have a relationship with him. Like Matthew Robert Payne, my co-author, has a deep relationship with God without not being a pastor, without not having a church. God created all of us. We are all his children and we belong to him. And because we belong to him, we have access to him. The problem is we don't know how we can access him. But the mindset needs to change, first of all, that you can access him. Know that he's waiting for you. He's not withholding himself from you, but currently is observing you from afar and is looking open that you will come to him, that he is accessible to you. Religion might be telling you otherwise, but he wants you to know that he's a loving and caring father that will always wait for you. And every time, though he can see a glimpse of you, he will rather prefer to have an intimate relationship with you. And you don't need any pastor to sorry, let me rephrase that again. You don't need to go to any pastor to access God. You can access God outside of the church. God gave me an illustration today. Said, Tolu, Matthew's father loved playing golf, but while he was on earth, he couldn't afford to be a member of a golf to play golf. So of course, he practices his golf outside of the club. But now that he's in heaven, he's got access to the club. He can go to any club he wants to. He plays a lot of golf. And even though he was never a part of a golf club, he knew how to play, but he never had the opportunity to practice it. So now he can practice it so well. What God was trying to say is, you don't need to be part of a church to know me. You don't need to be part of a mosque to have a relationship with me. And do you know, God is waiting. Usually, whenever you start speaking to him, he's so happy that he responds to your curiosity, he responds to your longing, he responds to your hunger, he responds to the smallest flicker of interest in his heart, because he's happy that you are interested, that you want to know him. And because of that, it makes himself available. But I'm going to tell you that the most challenging thing is for you to train yourself to continue to practice. My husband, who is now in heaven, used to carry the voice of Jesus so well. And I desired to be able to do that. But I struggled because I felt it wasn't something I could do. So because my mindset was wrong, that how am I sure that God is the one speaking to me? How am I sure it's not devil? All of this thought coming into my mind automatically resisted me from opening up my mind to be able to even hear God speak. And I started practicing. I would sit down in quiet room and just ask God something. Maybe I'll just say, hello, Papa, will you? And I would just allow him just to drop informations into my mind. I pick it from my mind. And I started asking God things like, maybe, how has been your day today? What have you done? And what do I do? There was a stage I was just journaling them. I write wherever God is telling me. I write them down. The next day I go and go. And most of the time, all the things he says to me, he confirms it during our conversation with me and Matthew. So that really helps me to know, yes, I'm actually hearing from him. So, and God has been able to speak to me through so many ways, which I'm watching my TV and is ministering to me. It just makes you to know that he is accessible. If you care to know him, he will meet you in your kitchen. He will meet you in your car. He will meet you in your exhaustion, even when you're tired, in your confusion, in your pain. It's accessible not because you earned him, because you don't need to, but because he wants to be known, because he is your father. And like any father will want to have access to their children and vice versa. So I want you to know that God is accessible to you if you're ready to put in the hard work. And the hard work is persistency. 5 minutes a day. That's what God used to tell me. Told him, just give me a 5 minutes dedicated time every day when you ask me questions and you wait for me to respond. So start by 5 minutes. Before you know it, 5 minutes will increase to 10 minutes. And through that conversation, through that medium, you will start beginning to know God. You will start beginning to understand what is in the Word of God. God can explain what He meant in that passage for you. And that you will not be able to understand that if you are not connected to God. Maybe if somebody has told you, it might be different. But when you allow yourself to be connected to God, when you allow Him to start speaking through you, you continue to practice it until you own the practice. Now, Matthew Robompe, who carries the voice of God or anyone in heaven, Jesus, Holy Spirit, has been doing it now for 30 years. It's persistence, it's consistency. And God said, a lot of my children don't want to do it because they are lazy. So stop being lazy. It might not come natural to you, but start practicing it. And whatever it tells you, write them down. And if you don't want to journal, just record the conversation, because when you record the conversation and you listen back to it, it will encourage you to continue to do it over and over again. So I want you to know that God is accessible. You don't need to go to a pastor. You don't need to go to a church. You don't need to go to a mosque. You don't need to go to a temple to access God. You can access God right in your house, because He is always with you and He's always around you and He's waiting and yearning for you to contact Him and start knowing Him. And just look at it like a little child. A little child needs to learn everything. They need to learn to eat. They need to learn to speak. They need to learn to walk. And when they start walking, they will wobble first. So when you start, you will wobble. It will seem as if you can't hear Him. But I promise you, continue. It will get better. And the more you continue, the more you are able to learn God for yourself, because there's nothing as good as you having that direct access to Him, and He can reveal Himself to you. It's not a year journey, it's a lifetime journey. You're going to live with Him forever and ever anyway. So don't rush yourself. Take your step by step. You need any support, you can always contact me or contact my friend Matthew Robot Payne. He will always be willing. When you just search on Facebook, Matthew Robot Payne, he will be willing to communicate with you and to guide you in how you can hear God. But the summary of my message today is: the Father cares for you. Papa cares for you. He wants to have a relationship with every of his children, and he's waiting for you. And if you want to know more about me as an author, I've written so many books, which is currently on Amazon. If you search my name, Tolu Sarah Jensen, my focus is just to get people to know the art of God. So everything I focus on is about making God known. And that's what this channel is all about. It's about unboxing God. It's about knowing this real God that is so much of a better father to us than even our earthly father. So I hope you've been blessed. And I pray that God continually direct you, strengthen you, uphold you, and give you the courage to begin a relationship with Him. God bless.